Do you soak with monkeys?
No.
Oh.
I think it's just you just witness them.
You watch them soak.
You watch them hang out in the hot springs. But there are actual onsen hot springs nearby that you can go to for your getaway. But
Sans monkey.
The Sans monkey. Hello and welcome to the Worldwide Honeymoon Travel Podcast, the podcast that talks about all things couples travel, including destinations, tips, advice, and more. I'm Kat.
I'm Chris.
And this is episode number 172.
I'm going to go ahead and lead off with my highlight because I think it was probably your highlight.
Okay.
Top Gun Maverick was such a good movie.
We just watched it yesterday because yesterday was Father's Day here in the U.S. and your dad really wanted to go watch it. And so we watched Top Gun last week, the original, just to see what it was like. And it's better. Like the one we saw Sunday, the new movie, is actually a lot better.
It is.
Not that Top Gun was bad, the original, but like this one is really good.
It was so good.
Highly recommend if I don't know, you like action adventure movies. It was just a good movie.
And a great movie to see in theaters too. Like on the big screen with the killer sound system. Like I don't think it would have been nearly as good watching it in our home. Do you agree with that?
Yeah. I mean, you really feel it because they actually filmed in those planes. They weren't flying the planes. They were in the passenger seat, but they made it look like they were flying.
It's like, I mean, we've been to 2 movies now in 3 weeks, and I will say that I forgot how awesome the movies were.
Yeah. Downton, Top Gun.
I mean, Top Gun was better than Downton.
But they're different movies.
They are.
I like Downton, but that's more my genre.
Which one did you like better?
Downton.
Really?
Well, for me, it's more nostalgia. Like I follow Downton Abbey. I've seen it so many times. I love the movie.
So my one complaint about Top Gun Maverick was that there was only one plane of Danger Zone. What if there were like 7 Danger Zones?
Still Downton.
That would kick it
but
over
again,
Downton.
that's more my thing, not, Top Gun. But it was good.
What if Downton had Danger Zone?
I don't think it would because it's in the 20s.
That would heighten Downton. That would put it up there a bit more. Do you agree?
No, because I like the music of that time too. I mean, you've got Cole Porter.
Yeah, I agree, but I mean,
you got jazz.
But you don't have the Danger Zone.
Okay.
Was that your highlight as well?
Yeah, I would say that, and going to some of your friends' house the other day.
Oh yeah. That
like
was
going
a lot of
having
fun
a
as
barbecue,
well.
hanging out,
Catching up with people,
cuddling with a puppy.
It was one of
things.
ours, like one of my friend's puppies.
Yeah.
You didn't steal it.
No.
We never know with you.
Okay.
What else has been going on? Anything else you want to share?
Not really. Just finalizing my trip next month to Provence. Mapped out the road trip, trying to see what all we can see.
Awesome.
We'll see. We got a beach club we're going to go to in Cannes.
A what?
A beach club. So we're getting lunch there. We made reservations for lunch, but we're also going to like hang out and rent a beach chair for the day. I mean, that's what you do at the beach club. You basically rent a chair and you're on the beach and you get like drinks and food and stuff sent over to you.
Cool.
So that's what we're going to do and just relax that day and swim and hang out just as like a chill day towards the end of the trip. Yeah.
That'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah. I'm really excited about that.
Don't dip into my gift.
What gift?
The case of Chateau Neuf de Pop.
Okay.
Don't dip into that during the beach day.
I'm actually quite curious because we're going to rent a beach chair and like I think the cheapest bottle of wine is maybe like $50 at this beach club.
Whoa.
It's not cheap.
How far is it from your hotel?
I mean, it's in Cannes, like downtown Cannes. Like there's like the beach right there. It's just a private, or I don't know. It's just the beach chair that you can rent for the day, which is kind of expensive. I think it's like €70 to rent the chair for the day.
Goodness.
Yeah. Like it's not cheap, but it is Cannes. So like that makes sense that it's not cheap.
Do they not have public beaches?
They do, but like you have to rent a chair. Like you can't just like, unless you want to lay on the ground. And I'm in my 30s and my sister's in our 30s and we just kind of want to like sip rosé in our comfy beach chair.
Goodness.
So I don't know if we're allowed to bring outside food and drink. Part
No.
of me is going to say that's going to be a no, but like if
0%
I could
chance.
like, smuggle in actually, you know what I could do is I have a Swell water bottle
Hold on.
What?
Don't put this on record.
Oh, stop.
Are you out of your mind?
This doesn't mean I'm going to do it. I just have a Swell water bottle that holds 750 ml
Of water.
of water.
Goodness. All right. Anything else you want to talk about before we jump into today's episode?
No, I think that's it.
All right.
We're just excited to talk about an Asia bucket list.
Yes. So this is the 5th episode in our series. We started with North America in episode number 168, and we did North America, South America, Europe, and Africa in episodes 168 through 171. And this is going to be the same exact format. The top 3 experiences that each of us have had on the continent, and then the top 3 experiences that we want to have. If we could only have 3 experiences for the rest of our lives on the continent of Asia, what would those be?
Yeah.
And before we jump in, we have the same travel stats for Asia. We have both been to 4 countries in Asia: South Korea, Vietnam, Cambodia, and Thailand, which accounts for approximately 8% of the continent.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's more than I thought.
Well, there we go.
Yeah.
Why don't you go ahead and start with your number 3 experience that you have had?
All right. My number 3, my third best experience in Asia is snorkeling in Koh Lipe, Thailand.
I am calling shenanigans on that.
Was I a little bit terrified? Yes.
A little bit.
But it was also incredible. Like, those are the best coral reefs I've ever seen. I'm also not just talking about like the snorkel trip that we did that got interrupted by a storm. I was also talking about snorkeling off the beach. And just the whole overall experience of staying in a beach hut and running into the water in the morning, and it just was absolutely stunning.
I was going to say, when I first thought of it, I thought of the one that got interrupted due to the thunderstorms, and I was like, you were more confident hatching your French criminal schemes moments ago than you were snorkeling that day.
Yeah, and I was terrified because it looked like it was about to storm, and the water looked really dark, and I was like, are we going to see anything? But the second I went under, those corals were the most beautiful corals I've ever seen.
They were. Do you remember that huge barracuda?
Yes.
That was awesome.
I mean, it was incredible. It was bucket list worthy.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I wasn't scared, but it was worth it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah, Christopher.
Okay. I wasn't thinking of all of the snorkeling that we did off the beach.
Yeah, with all of the little clownfish everywhere.
Yes.
And that was nice.
That was very nice.
Now, what was your third?
Mine was Elephant Nature Park.
Number 3?
Number 3.
Wow.
Just outside of Chiang Mai in Thailand. We spent a full day with the elephants, and I think that we have had, I think we have a full episode on Elephant Nature Park, if I'm remembering correctly.
No, I don't think we do, but we do have a Chiang Mai episode.
That's where we talked about it.
Yeah, and we talk about that there.
Awesome. So we spent a full day with the elephants. You get to feed them. You get to walk them through the jungle. You have lunch at this beautiful canopy that is overlooking the park, and then you walk your elephant back, and you can learn more about the park's mission. You see all of the hundreds of dogs and cats and buffalo and everything else that they have rescued at Elephant Nature Park. When we went, you would go in the river with the elephants, but I do not believe that is the case anymore. But just a really, really cool experience being that close to an elephant all day. It was just Catherine, myself, and the Mahout with Sai Tong, our elephant, and I mean, it was just a lot of fun. Very neat. She was very loving.
Yeah.
She kept trying to steal bananas from us.
Yeah, little Sai Tong.
Without walking through the jungle.
Yeah.
But we made it.
She's
and
a
it
big
was,
banana fan.
Yeah, big banana fan. But it was a lot of fun. That was probably my favorite experience in Chiang Mai as well. Like if you're thinking about like what are you going to do for one day in Chiang Mai, I would say Elephant Nature Park.
Yes. And I think our other 2 are probably the same. Maybe in different orders, but my second best I think is going to be Angkor Wat.
Okay.
and the temples in Siem Reap, Cambodia. Especially watching the sunrise over Angkor Wat was absolutely stunning. And also going to some of these smaller, lesser-known temples, including Bing Malia or the Lady Temple. But yeah, I mean, spending an entire, we got up very early in the morning, and I think we were there for sunrise, and I think we got back to our hotel at 2 in the afternoon.
Yes.
So we spent a better part of the day exploring the temples of Angkor Wat.
And part of the next day.
Yeah, and then the next day we spent about probably about 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. That's where we went out further and got to see Bing Malia and then Brunty Stray.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, it was absolutely incredible. Our guide, Bunty, was fantastic. He even took us to some temples where we had a temple near Angkor Wat all to ourselves for 20 minutes before a couple other people came in. But it was on kind of a dirt road. There's not going to be tour buses. And it was incredible. I mean, there's so many temples in the area, not just the famed Angkor Wat. There's so many other little temples to go check out, and all worth going to go visit.
Yeah, so this is the world's largest religious monument. The complex is about 402 acres. Mm-hmm. So just massive, and dating back to the early 12th century. So a ton of history. I was geeking out the entire time, and I had read about it beforehand. So...
Mm-hmm. There's still monks that are there.
Yeah,
you'll see monks walking around.
It was really neat. You are right. That is in my top 2, but it is my number 1.
Oh, okay, so that's my number 2. Absolutely incredible. Highly, highly worth it. Yes, it is crowded at sunrise because a lot of people want to see it. I've also heard sunset is really pretty because there were a couple people that have done that. But yeah, sunrise over Angkor Wat, absolutely stunning. What's your number 2?
Mine is probably your number 1, Bai Tu Long Bay.
Yes.
Yes. So this is a smaller bay east of Halong Bay, far less crowded, just as many pristine beaches, rock formations, the cave that we went into, but we kayaked in Bai Tu Long Bay. We spent time just kind of cruising along on the junk boat.
The sunsets and sunrises were unreal.
Otherworldly.
And we chose Bai Tu Long Bay. I think we did Indochina Junk was the company, and it was Dragon Legend Cruise.
Yes.
We chose Bai Tu Long Bay because it's far less crowded than the traditional Halong Bay.
Cleaner.
And cleaner, yes. So we saw a lot of boats heading towards Halong Bay, and we went to the northern part of the bay. And even just the split off from where we met at the ferry station or whatever, the dock or port, the amount of boats going our direction versus Halong Bay was just a drastic difference because far fewer. We really only saw other boats at night because they would kind of park them or dock them close together around the evening. But during the day, we sometimes saw no other boats, and it was absolutely incredible. We went to a fishing village. I got to try to get an oyster or get a pearl.
You did get a pearl.
Yeah, I did get a pearl. Apparently wasn't valuable at all. I said I was willing to take it off their hands. They said no. So, you win some, you lose some. But the cruise was great. It was very luxurious feeling, great food. Views were incredible. And it was just, those karst mountain formations and getting to kayak among them was really awesome.
It really was.
So that makes it my number 1.
Awesome.
But what is your number 1?
Angkor Wat.
The Angkor Wat? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else to add?
No, everything that I had to add to Angkor Wat, I talked about when you were talking about Angkor Wat.
All right. So in review, I've got number 3 is snorkeling in Koh Lipe. Number 2 is Angkor Wat. And number 1 is Bai Tu Long Bay. And what is yours?
My number 3 is Elephant Nature Park. Number 2 is Bai Tu Long Bay. And number 1 is Angkor Wat.
All right, now we are going to talk about our top 3 bucket list experiences that we want to have in Asia. But before we do, is starting a podcast on your bucket list? Do you have an idea for a great new podcast? You can bring your idea to life and start your podcast today with Libsyn. Our podcast has been on Libsyn for 3 years, ever since the beginning when we started in 2019, and we love it. Libsyn has everything you need to plan, launch, and grow your own podcast. Libsyn provides some of the best resources created by expert podcasters who will show you everything you need to know, like what equipment you should use, how to record great audio, how to get your show onto Apple Podcasts and other popular platforms, and so much more. Plus, as a friend of Worldwide Honeymoon, when you sign up with Libsyn, you get your first month of podcast hosting for free. There's never been a better time than right now for you to start podcasting. Visit Libsyn.com and use the code FRIEND, FRIEND, that's LIBSYN.com, and use the code FRIEND, FRIEND, to get started and create your podcast today. All right, so let's get into our bucket list of things that we would like to do in Asia that will help inspire your future travels. Do you want to go first?
Sure. Did you put yours in any specific order?
No.
Okay. I did not either. My first is Petra in Jordan. Is that on your list?
No, it's not.
Petra isn't on your list?
No. I was thinking more East Asia, that sort of thing. But I do have an honorable mention over there.
Now, do you have an honorable mention? Did you have it before I said Petra, or do
No.
you now have an honorable mention?
Well, sure, that's an honorable mention now. But like, here, keep going.
Okay. So, Angkor Wat was my number one experience that I've had. And I think that Petra kind of has that same vibe, right? Like the tombs and the temples, these are carved into stone. Petra dates back to 300 BC, and I am a sucker for ancient marvels. Yeah, Petra is way up there for me. I am shocked that it is not on your list. I really am, because we've talked about like almost going there when we've like been choosing trips in the past.
Yeah.
Consider me shooketh.
I'm sorry. Well, mine, my first one is the Jiga Kudani Snow Monkey Park in Japan.
Oh my gosh.
And this is the place in the mountains that has these natural hot springs that these little monkeys, the Japanese macaques, go to. And that's where they like to soak and stuff. And it's really cute. And the most famous for doing this in the wintertime, but you can actually see them year round.
Do you soak with monkeys?
No.
Oh.
I think it's just, you just witness them.
You watch them soak.
You watch them hang out. In the hot springs. But there are actual onsen hot springs nearby that you can go to for your getaway. But
Sans monkey.
The Sans monkey. But I think I've always really loved watching. It's like seeing videos and photos of these monkeys just hanging out in hot springs. And that would be really, really cool to see. And I also just really want to visit Japan and see the temples and eat a lot and all of that stuff. But my number one thing to do in Japan would be going to that monkey park.
Awesome.
What's your next one?
My next one is visiting Bagan in Myanmar.
Ah, shocked.
Right? I'm
Knew
sure
that would be
that
on your
comes
list.
as zero surprise to you. Again, it has that like ancient marvel vibe to it. There's roughly 2,000 monuments. And if you increase it to be like temples and pagodas and like religious structures, it's over 3,000. Dating back to the 9th century. So as soon as we went to Angkor Wat and I started reading more about like other temple complexes and that sort of stuff, and I found this, I was like, okay, that is definitely it too. Like knowing how much Angkor Wat just like put me in awe. I can't imagine what would happen there in Myanmar as well.
Yeah, that would be incredible. My next one is heading to Kerala, India, and specifically Aleppi for the backwaters and to rent a houseboat in the backwaters and go on a houseboat cruise.
What?
And it's really cool. I can't believe you've never seen it. It's such a unique thing to do. It's very calm and tranquil, and it's just a very unique and beautiful part of India to go visit, and you get to rent your own houseboat situation. It doesn't look like the kind from like America. Like they're actually really pretty houseboats that you can like go and like hang out in the backwaters and these like beautiful rivers.
I don't think you've ever mentioned this.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, well, it's
that's
up
why
there
I'm
for
shocked.
me.
Is are there tigers?
No, I don't believe so.
What wildlife can you see?
I don't know, like stuff that's in the water.
Are
Fish?
You're just floating down in a houseboat?
Yeah. I mean, you can go kayaking and like other things too, but like it's just like a neat experience that like
Cool.
you can do.
Okay, I didn't know if it was like, oh, you're like going through like this park or what. I don't know.
I mean, I want to go to India and like see all sorts of things around there, but I felt like that would be a really fun place to go visit.
Awesome. Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
you've ever talked about that before.
Yeah, I'll have to show you what those houseboats look like.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, what's your next one?
My next one is, I'm sure also going to come as no surprise to you. but it is visiting Gunung Lesser National Park in Indonesia. This is where you can see orangutan, which is an animal that is on my wildlife spotting bucket list. This is a wildlife trip that you are welcome to join on because there are no bears.
Okay. What about sun bears?
If there is a chance for sun bears, then I will rescind my invitation. I am not going to bring the bear curse on any more bear-centric trips. But it's not just orangutans, it's also elephants, tigers, rhinos, which is awesome. But yeah, like orangutans are the big drive for me. I've always loved the great apes. Have you?
Yeah, they're fun. Pretty great.
Yeah, they're fun.
Yeah, they're fun.
The great apes are pretty great.
Yeah, they're pretty great.
Fair. I like orangutans because I like those big fans that they have on their face.
Too. I like howler monkeys a lot.
Yeah.
Just because they make like the weirdest sound, but it's like, I don't know, they're just cool. They hang out.
Oh, that was my best howler monkey impression.
Oh, it's like terrifying. It's like a horror movie, like where you feel like a monster is coming after you. That is what a howler monkey sounds like. And they're not, I mean, they're a larger, I guess, of the smaller monkeys, but it's not like a gigantic monkey, and they're high up in the trees. That's just like their call, and it's always in the morning, so it's still dark out. It's like 4:30 in the morning, and you hear these things.
It's like Bigfoot, but you can't see
going off, and it sounds like Bigfoot going. Like it is creepy, but they're interesting. Yeah.
I don't know what sounds orangutans make, but after we go there, I will let you know.
Yeah.
I'm sure you will also experience it.
I hope so. All right, so my last one is visiting the Great Wall of China. Obviously, that's a big one.
I was thinking that would be up there for you.
Yeah, I mean, I know that the most popular place to visit it is close to Beijing.
Okay.
That's going to be one of the easier places to access it, but it's also the most crowded, and I can't even imagine. It's one of the most famous wonders of the world landmarks. But there are other places to go visit it too, so I would have to do a little bit more research on where exactly to go to. But yeah, I think that would be really cool to see.
Did you know that there is a marathon on the Great Wall of China?
Yes, you've told me that before.
Maybe that is the reason to go.
But then it's like you don't get to like actually sit back and bring my camera and like take photos. It would be like me stumbling over steps and all this stuff and like scrambling around people in a marathon race.
You can chalk up a DNF if that's what you want to do.
I don't want to do that.
I'm sure we could also visit it like the next day.
Yeah.
You mentioned that you had honorable mentions.
Of course. Well, to wrap it up, our bucket list, mine is the Jiga Kudani Snow Monkey Park in Japan, renting a houseboat in Kerala in India, and seeing the Great Wall of China. What are yours?
Petra in Jordan, Bagan in Myanmar, and Gunung Lesser National Park in Indonesia.
Nice. And do you have any honorable mentions?
I do not, because we agreed on 3 and 3.
Okay. So, of course, Petra's up there. Visiting Jerusalem in Israel would be pretty cool. The Dead Sea as well. Just getting to float in the Dead Sea is up there for me. Jaipur in India. It's the Pink City to go visit. Lake Baikal in Russia. Obviously, that is going to be something we will not be doing anytime soon. But Lake Baikal, I think it's 20% of the world's freshwater. It's the deepest lake in the world, and it has its own endemic species, including seals and stuff like that. And when it freezes over in the winter, there's like gas bubbles and stuff that forms like these really cool ice formations in the lake.
Did you learn this on like Creepy Lake Month?
Yes. No. So there's this lady who's some sort of hydrologist. I don't know what their title is or her title, but she talks about lakes and seas and different things like that. And during the month of October, she does Creepy Lake Month, and she's always like, yes, hello. But she has a whole section just about Lake Baikal, and it looks really, really cool. It's called the Galapagos of the North, so or the Galapagos of Russia. So it would be really neat to see because it does have its own unique species that just live there.
Is there a certain train ride or train route that is on your bucket list?
I think it's the Trans-Siberian Railway might pass through it. I don't know. I know it's a more remote place.
Oh, I meant like, is that also on your honorable mentions?
No, that's just like Lake Baikal. The Chengdu Research Center.
For pandas?
For pandas. Yeah, there's always tons of things. Bagan, but that's on your list. And the Borneo thing, but that's on your list. Like those, obviously the stuff on your list is on mine too, but... Yeah.
I mean, at this point with your honorable mentions, I think you covered all but 2 countries.
Oh,
if you just
stop
I'm
it.
just kidding.
Okay.
That wraps it up. Our next episode is going to be about Oceania, and neither of us have ever been to Oceania, so
Yeah.
we are just going to have our instead of a 3 and 3, we're going to have a 6 bucket list experiences to have.
Yes. 6 each.
6 each.
Yes. So we will go through, and it'll be Australia, New Zealand, and all of the islands in Oceania
Yeah.
that we will talk about.
Were any of mine surprises?
You know, I think the Petra seemed like a surprise for me because I feel like you're very animal oriented. So I feel like you would have chosen something else animal oriented.
I was thinking about that, but I also, like, when I was making my top 3, I was like, okay, Angkor Wat is number 1 for me. So it's not all about animals.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, Elephant Nature Park was number 3.
Yeah, that's a shocker. That was like one of your favorite things to do in Thailand.
It was really cool.
Any that surprised
The
you on
houseboat had me shook. I have literally never heard you talk about that, and how many evenings we have just like looked at a map, look at books, all of that kind of stuff, and chatted about experiences that we have wanted to have. And I have never once heard you mention that. So, I mean, I'm sure that there's like things that I have thought about as well that like, oh, that would be really cool, that I've never just said out loud, and just kind of always like in my own thoughts be like, oh, this would be pretty cool. And it sounds like that's kind of what it was, like something that just for whatever reason never came up in conversation, but that's always been there.
I mean, I would love to do like a 2-week trip around India. And we're really not going to cover a whole lot because it's massive. It would probably be like Rajasthan and then like Goa and Kerala, that area. That would pretty much be all we could like quickly cover in that amount of time.
Yeah.
So that would be hard, but lots of cool places that we certainly want to go see. But yeah, we want to know, what are your thoughts? Where would you like to visit in Asia? And where have you been? And what makes your bucket list in Asia? You can always let us know. You can reach out to us on Twitter, WW Honeymoon, Instagram at Worldwide Honeymoon, or email kat@worldwidehoneymoon.com. But thank you guys so much for tuning in.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to rate and review our podcast. It takes less than a few minutes and really helps other people find us. Also, if you're enjoying this awesome free information on both the blog and podcast, when you're booking your next trip, head over to worldwidehoneymoon.com/resources and use the links provided. We earn a small commission at no cost to you when you book through these links, and these are all brands and companies we know, love, and use, like Skyscanner for finding the best flight prices, World Nomads for the best travel insurance, TripAdvisor for hotel bookings and reviews, and even Amazon for all of your travel purchases.
Thank you for tuning in. We really appreciate it. Wherever you are, wherever you go, remember to make every day a worldwide honeymoon.